Hey guys, Mo Morales, and I just wanted to give you my recap on the experience I've had with the A7C during the course of 2021. Purchased a camera early in the year, and I really have enjoyed using it. It was a camera that completely surprised me as far as I thought I was purchasing it when I left the professional photography market and I didn't want to carry a bigger camera anymore. So I sold my A7 III in order to get this camera, thinking I would enjoy it to just do some street photography, travel with it, and stuff along that line. And for those purposes, it has been spectacular. But ultimately, within the course of a few months of retiring, the call to go back to work and do some shoots came and grabbed me. So I ended up having to put this camera to work, even though normally I would not shoot professional work with a single SD card. Luckily for me, all the jobs I did, nothing went wrong, and everything came out exactly how I hoped for, and actually even better sometimes. So, what do I like about the A7C? Well, first of all, it is ultimately the size. This camera itself is such a small, compact camera, easy to carry, put in your bag, and forget it. Depending on if you buy the compact lens series that are out there by Sigma as well as by Sony, this camera kit completely easy to carry and no weight issues whatsoever. A few problems with the size though is you are going to run into grip. It depends what kind of grip you prefer. It doesn't have enough to cover your whole hand. Your pinky will be hanging off. Another thing I don't like about the size is the compromise that it had to make on the EVF. So the EVF is ridiculously small, and to me, if the one thing I would improve on the Mark II would be to increase the rangefinder style viewfinder to a more normal size viewfinder. Maybe put it in the middle like you have with the A7 III and the A7 IV. If not, if you leave it here in the corner, just make it bigger so that it's not a scrunch your eye up to it and you still can't see the entire EVF to be anyway. So I think the biggest issue with the size was the compromise on the EVF. The next thing I liked about the A7C was its battery life. It's using the same battery you find on the A7 III, A7 IV, and other cameras that Sony has put out recently. The Z battery is just indestructible as far as wearing it out. Every event I shot this year, every portrait shoot I did this year, never at any point did I feel that I was running low on battery and I had to swap them out. Occasionally I swapped out just to swap out, just to give each battery a fair turn through its cycle. But I never swapped batteries because I had to swap batteries. So it's not an A7C feature, but it is the battery feature, but it takes it, so you got to give it credit to the A7C. The image quality that I got out of this camera was simply amazing. The color science has improved since the A7 III to this camera, and I just simply love it. I couldn't go backwards as far as if I got tired of using the A7C, I couldn't go back to the A7 III just because of the new color science and the more accurate colors that I was getting from the A7C. So kudos to that. Same thing with the video quality. 9 out of 10 times I shot straight out of camera video. I didn't do any picture profiles. And then towards the end, I started using picture profile 4 with some modifications to the gamma, the blacks, and stuff like that. But for the most part, I shot it straight, boom, point and fire it away. And I thought, for me, it was more than enough. I'm not someone who color grades. I'm not someone who's, worried about it not being a 10-bit output. So for people like me, it was more than enough. Now, if you demand, high edited, you're shooting on some S log and stuff like that, then obviously yes, the A7 III, the A7C, those aren't the cameras for you. You need to go look elsewhere. Maybe the A7S III, the A7 IV. Those now offer the 10-bit. That's where you may want to go. The autofocus on this thing is just wow. There's nothing I ever missed without it being my fault. The camera itself would lock on wherever I would tap it to, wherever I would focus it to, it locked on. So if there was ever a misfocus, it's because I put it in the wrong spot, not the camera itself. I think it was amazing, amazing. I think the A7 III was amazing. And then to be able to step it up and still keep within the same sensor family, I thought was impressive, compensation by Sony and their software fixes. That's just me. I don't know. What did you guys think about it? So that's it. I just wanted to recap my time with the A7C. Now that the A7 IV is here, which I'm recording on right now, it's time for me to let go of this girl. But I know she's going to a good home, so I'm not worried about that. And I believe that ultimately, if you are a person starting a YouTube channel, if you're a person just starting in photography, or if you're an APS-C Sony user and you want to step into the full frame game, this camera is what you need. If you know, if you're obviously a seasoned filmmaker and you're looking for the 10-bit, maneuverability to be able to edit more detail and quality images out of it, as far as video is concerned, then obviously this is not for you. And if you can't live with a single memory card, this is not for you. If the viewfinder of an APS-C camera bothers you, this is not for you. For everything else, if you can get past those things, the A7C is an amazing camera, especially if you're going to film your YouTube videos with it and stuff like that. You cannot go wrong with this camera. I highly recommend it for those people whose case uses it definitely would, cater to. And again, I highly recommend it, and I really enjoyed my time with it. So I'll continue the rest of this video with some of the photos I took throughout the course of 2021 with the camera. So until next time, it's been your Uncle Mo. I appreciate you watching, and good luck and a happy new year to you guys.